Hello, I am Jeff Sargent, Professor of Psychology. Welcome to Lee Day, or virtual Lee Day. Thank you for taking a moment to drop in our department, meet us. Our department's the Behavioral and Social Sciences department. We believe that the real reason that you will ultimately choose our university is the relationships that you will develop with our professors in our classrooms and advising sessions. We have some of the best social science researchers and practitioners who have chosen to work at Lee so they could have an opportunity to mentor students just like you. I'm going to introduce my colleagues to you in just a few moments, and I'm also going to tell you a little bit about our programs. But again, I want you to know this is the real stuff. This is the real college life, and these are the real people who will journey with you at this important time of your life. But first of all, who are we? Well, we are programs in anthropology, sociology, psychology, criminal justice, and we have graduate programs in psychology. We also have minors in anthropology, sociology, psychology, criminal justice, and social work. Also, we have emphases in our department curricula, and these are faith integration, scientific inquiry, ethical and social responsibility, and professional development. Two of these emphases are highlighted in two of our annual events. During the fall semester, we demonstrate our faith integration in our annual department chapel. This is where the faculty, staff, and students come together to worship, to lead worship, to read scripture, and to pray together. In the spring, we demonstrate our commitment to scientific inquiry by hosting our student research forum known as the Ollie J. Lee Symposium. This is a forum where our students who have created their own original research present it to their classmates and to their professors. In addition to these emphases, we want to give our students an opportunity to get really good practical experiences. So I'd like to highlight a couple of things that we have in our department, actually two different opportunities that we have. One is our teaching assistantship. In each one of our disciplines, students have the opportunity to apply for positions as teaching assistants. And while they're being mentored in their relationship with a faculty member, they also receive academic credit. In addition to that, we have practica and internship opportunities in social work, counseling, and opportunities to go do archaeological excavation experiences, both in the region and out west in Colorado. Each one of our disciplines has a cross-cultural trip experience. We have trips to Hawaii, Europe, and to the Middle East, and each one of these have academic credits. But I'm not going to get into all those details right now. I really want you to meet my colleagues. So I'm going to introduce each one of them to you, and they're going to tell you a little bit more about their disciplines. And first, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Richard Jones, who is the discipline coordinator and professor of anthropology. Hello, Richard.
Yeah, hi. Hey, it's glad to be here this morning. In the broadest sense, anthropology is the study of humanity, and we have a great anthropology program at Lee. Out of the Council of Christian Colleges and Universities, there are 100+ schools, and there are only 5 anthropology programs, and I think ours is probably the best. We have 3 full-time faculty members. Mr. Alan Wheeler, who is a specialist in Inner Asia, did field work for his dissertation on reindeer herding people. He speaks Tuvan, he speaks Mongolian. We have Dr. Merle Dirksen, who grew up on the Hopi Indian Reservation, is an expert in Native Americans of the Southwest, has lived in China for a time, and has also done work in Latin America, and speaks Spanish and Hopi and some Chinese. And I did my work in the Middle East with Coptic Christianity and also some archaeology in Jordan. So my area of expertise is Middle East, anthropology of religion. I also teach anthropology and linguistics here. So we've got a good faculty and a small number of majors, usually 30 to 40 majors, so we can spend a lot of time working with our students. Anthropology divides into 4 subfields, and we have our students cover all 4 of those subfields in their studies. There's cultural anthropology, which is the collective study of human behavior. archaeology, which is the study of past human behavior, linguistic anthropology, which is the study of language and language use, biological anthropology, which is the study of biological, physiological, and genetics of humans. We encourage and help our students seek opportunities for internships. A lot of our students intern at local museums. We've had students intern at the Smithsonian. We've had them intern at the Forensic Anthropology Center, also known as the Body Farm at UTK, in law enforcement and in various archaeology projects around the country and the world, and also in teaching English to speakers of other languages. We offer our students a lot of opportunities to conduct research in cultural studies and also in archaeology. The ethnographic writing and research class that all of our students are required to take teaches them how to do ethnographic studies and cultural studies. And we also offer them the option of doing archaeology field schools too. And we usually do at least 2 of those a year. Our former students are successful in a variety of careers: missions work, law enforcement, both local and national, military language specialists as officers in the military, teaching English to speakers of other languages, both here and abroad, international development, NGOs. Lots of our students have worked in various development projects around the world, public relations and managing government programs, professional grant writing, museum curators in several museums around the country, and some of our students are archaeologists. Currently, we have students in graduate programs in linguistics, forensic and biological anthropology and archaeology, social work, journalism, cultural anthropology, just to name a few. In particular, we have one student doing outstanding work at University of Hawaii, Manoa, in forensic anthropology. Very difficult program to get into, but she got in fully funded and will be finishing her PhD this year. And we also have a student who received the Gates Scholarship at Cambridge University working on her PhD in anthropology. She'll also be finishing this year. Very prestigious award. In fact, it's the most prestigious award that Cambridge University offers. Anthropology can prepare students for a wide variety of career paths, and I think we have an excellent program here. And if you have questions about it, feel free to contact me by email, and I'll be happy to get back to you as quickly as I can.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much for telling us about the anthropology program. We also have with us Dr. Arlie Tagayuna, who is a professor of sociology, and he's going to tell you more about sociology and the criminal justice programs.
Morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Arlie Tagayuna. I'm an associate professor of sociology. I'm also coordinate both the program in sociology and the criminal justice program. If you don't know what sociology is the study of human relations, both in the macro and micro aspect of it. We study about how people evolves in terms of their social lives in groups and other societies. We also study about how people are able to aggregate themselves, especially in times like this, where we have pandemics, and how their social lives are changed because of these types of events that's happening for us. Sociology is not just only a sole type of discipline. We kind of incorporate a number of things and ideas from other disciplines themselves. So it's a form of overarching discipline from different aspects that we can understand more in totality, the different ways we can understand society. Here at Lee, we try to teach our students the liberal studies approach. We want you guys to develop a holistic understanding about society and how you can apply this understanding in your own personal and professional life. Primarily, we want to emphasize more about how you can develop critical understanding and critical learning skills. And we would highlight during your time up here on how you can be able to understand theories in people, in human behavior, and also looking at evidence-based research and other forms of model programs on how we can be able to respond better in times of crisis, and ways we can understand to direct policies in our society today. We also want to teach you how to conduct scientific research, grant writing, and ways to engage your both academic learning to more pragmatic ways, like how we can engage in community, and also ways on how we can help our community in general. Several of the things that we've been doing in sociology, and even in this new program in criminal justice, is that most of my students are starting to work with some nonprofit um, agencies, and we're trying to help them out and how to improve some of their practices. In particular, we've been helping them also in writing grant for their agencies as well. This semester, many of my students are doing a lot of student research, particularly in the areas of crime and delinquency, adoptions and family studies, social media, particularly in ways how social media impacts about perceptions on current social policies, immigration, student engagement. A lot of my students are interested about sex trafficking and issues about rape and stuff like that. And so at Lee, sociology has a number of emphasis. Particularly, we have a minor in social work, and we also have a minor in criminal justice. We also have a minor in sociology in case that you don't want to be in sociology, but you want to have a minor in sociology. We emphasize more on the area of inequalities, study of race, class, and gender, and how these multifaceted elements can impact the kinds of uh, ways of how our social life are organized. Another emphasis also that we do is the ideas on family studies, and there's a number of collaboration between our other programs like in psychology and anthropology on studying family life, and also demography and how our population are changing as we talk today. There's also an emphasis on medical sociology. And finally, this coming fall, we're introducing this new program, our Bachelor's in Criminal Justice. And this is a new program which is kind of housed in sociology, but it shares some classes with sociology, but this has more emphasis on law enforcement and correction, and also in the studying of criminal behavior. So if you're interested of any of those particular classes, particularly in studying law enforcement, terrorism, how people behave criminally, studying about what causes people to become criminals. These are some of the more important classes that we're going to be doing in this particular program. So, given the fact that what can you do with sociology, or even more in criminal justice degree? Well, uh, with your training in sociology, and even more so in the criminal justice program, uh, because of your training in science and research, and also with the theoretical background that you have and grant writing, you are far more better to be applied in many professional settings, particularly in the areas of business, public relations, marketing, sales, consumer research, human resources, particularly in personal management, uh, media studies. You are more suitable to do also community service, particularly working with nonprofit agencies, community development. One of our professor, Dr. Ruthie Wink, has significantly worked in many community development research program, and also been an advocate for many community development projects. I, for one, has also have done significant amount of community development work myself. Some of their emphasis in health and medical sociology can also apply your future work in doing some sort of public health services and in kinds of jobs that has to do with public health. And of course, in higher education, and also with law enforcement and legal and other stuff. Most of our students have significantly been successful in their transition from here to their professional life. And many of them have been working in many human services job. And we are so proud of them and what they accomplish. And a number of them have transitioned also to the academic route. And they have been successfully been in many master's and PhD program as well.
Thank you, Dr. Tagayuna. There's a lot of information there, and two wonderful programs that we have. I'd like to introduce those who are watching to Dr. Brian Poole, who coordinates our psychology program. Dr. Poole, tell us a little bit more about the Lee Psychology program.
Sure. Thanks, Jeff. I'll speak briefly on the undergraduate programs in psychology. And our discipline is focused on the study of human behavior on the individual level. And at Lee, currently we have 9 full-time faculty who teach in the psych program, and they teach between the undergraduate and the graduate programs. Our faculty have expertise that ranges the gamut of the discipline of psychology, from kids and trauma to schools, marriage, addiction, infidelity, emotions, and so on. There are lots of very, very capable and intelligent faculty who teach a variety of classes wherein we emphasize primarily research, clinical counseling, psychology, and development, though we offer classes on several other areas of psychology too. One of the things that we are strongly focused on in our discipline is teaching our classes through the lens of our faith. We want you to know that though psychology is often considered to be a more secular discipline, if you think Sigmund Freud, for example, who has some bizarre ideas on human behavior, you'll realize that we don't shy away from that information. We're not going to hide any of the psychology research or the theories that might seem strange or uncomfortable. But what we will do is we will teach you those things through the lens of Christianity, through the lens of our faith, community, and relationships. That's something that we really want to do well for all of you. Some features of our undergraduate programs that I think you need to know about are 3. One is student research. One of the features of our program is that we allow our undergraduate students to do research that's on the caliber of graduate level programs. Our students have gone on to conduct research and present those at national conferences, and have been admitted to strong PhD programs because of their research experience. They get to choose their own ideas and work with mentors and run their own statistics and basically ask any kind of questions of interest that they have and answer them through our program. It's kind of fun, hands-on work they get to do. Our students also get to participate in service opportunities through our classes. We have several service-embedded courses. Lifespan development and crisis intervention counseling are 2 that pop onto my mind right now. And through those opportunities, students get hands-on experience, not just to learn about psychology, but to do it in their own community, to help other people through what they're learning. And you also have the opportunity through our program to take our annual trip to Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Every June, we go for 10 days overseas, and we get to study where these famous psychologists have studied. To go to Sigmund Freud's house or study at the Jung Institute in Zurich, Switzerland. You get to go hiking in the Alps and see where Hitler had one of his bases in the mountains. It's a really fantastic, well-rounded program where we try to address all these different aspects of psychology. As I said, research and service and travel, and then all these different domains that our faculty are experts on. We really hope that you'll consider joining us in the fall, specifically sometime soon. And if there's any questions you have about our programs, please don't hesitate to contact me about them.
Thank you, Brian. And now I'd like to introduce everyone to Dr. Heather Qualiana, who leads our graduate programs in counseling.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. I wanted to talk a minute about a new program that we've developed that is for our undergrads who are interested in school counseling. Those of you who feel called to that area, we have a new program called our 4+1, where you are able to obtain both an undergrad in psychology and then also a master's in school counseling by displaying that interest early. And it's a nice program tailored for those of you interested in school counseling. In addition, many of our undergraduate students choose to continue their education at Lee. So I just wanted to familiarize you with our 3 programs. The first, as I already mentioned, is school counseling, which equips students to work in local schools as counselors, ranging from elementary to high school. Also, we have the marriage and family therapy program. We were the first program accredited by COAMP in the state of Tennessee. We're very proud of that. And we are preparing our counselors to serve in a variety of settings, including churches, including outpatient mental health services, and private practice. And finally, we have our holistic child development program. And this is a program for those who want to continue work in the nonprofit world. This is also something that helps students gain international experience if they like. We have relationships with missionaries in Ecuador, where we go down and we serve and are able to develop programming for underserved communities there. And so I wanted to just get you familiar with our graduate programs, because often our undergraduate programs can help segue you into these future careers.
Thank you, Dr. Qualiano. Students, parents, thank you for listening. As you can probably see, we're not Zoom professionals. We're learning it this month and these past month and a half. This is not our strength. Our strength is the personal relationships, and that's what we're inviting you to. Come join us, come to our campus, and when we're allowed to visit campus again, and you are, please come by and meet us in person. Come discover and explore with us. We want to journey with you. Society will ask you, what are you going to do with your degree? We know that you don't know what you're going to do. We just know that God has put an interest in your heart. Come discover it with us. Let's figure it out together. Come join us next fall. Thank you, colleagues, so much for sharing your hearts. I hope that our audience could hear it, because I certainly know that you have the heart and love and passion for your disciplines and for our students. Thank you so much for listening.